அங்க இருந்து இன்வைட் பண்ணணும், வெளில போயிட்டு தான் இன்வைட் பண்ணுவேன். Okay, fine. Participants count. Good afternoon, Assistant Professor Shanmugapriya from Sri Sarada College of Arts and Science. Good afternoon, ma'am. I want all the participants to drop a text here in chat box. Okay, okay. Good afternoon, Mrs. Rega from Stella Maris. Good afternoon, Dr. Femina from Kaileshwari College of Arts and Science and Engineering. Good afternoon, all. Still, we got 5 more minutes. It's really great. Happy to see all you people, in a regular. Good afternoon, Dr. Prabhakaran. I want all the participants to, drop a text about your profile and which college you are from, and that will be great for us to follow up.
Ma'am, நீங்க உள்ள இருக்கீங்க, வந்துட்டீங்க. ஒரு நிமிஷம். நீங்க ஆனந்த் சார் பேசுறீங்க. ஒரு நிமிஷம். Sumit sir. Okay.
Hi sir. I think sir is online. Okay, fine. We'll go in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I just want principal ready. We can go live because the guest is ready.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Dr. Angelina. It's been great. Happy to see you, in each and every programs of us. That's really great. Dr. Esaki Muthu, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Hariharan. Hi. Good afternoon, Hariharan. And good afternoon, Mrs. Varalakshmi. Good afternoon.
Anand.
Yes.
Anand, principal ma'am is online.
Okay. Mute her for the welcome note. Unmute her.
Yeah, unmuted. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning, Thirumalan. Good morning, sir.
Anand Raj is online.
Vanakkam, madam.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, ma'am. How about you?
Okay. Fine, sir.
Our guest is on time. You can see our guest screen here. I just want you to make a quick welcome note so that we can go straight away. It's time.
Okay. Shall I proceed on?
Yes, ma'am. You are online. You can proceed.
Okay. Organized by the Training and Placement Cell, jointly with Inspiring Million in our Annai College of Arts and Science. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude towards today's speaker, Dr. Sumit Aggarwal, on the topic. That is, today he is here with us to give over the topic on academics to foster entrepreneurial ecosystem. So now I want to give a short hint about our speaker. He's a founder and CEO of Sobrian Consulting, member in MIT Technology, then Review in Global Panel, member in MIT Enterprise Forum, Cambridge, and he's a board member of more than 10 startups, and he's a member of Harvard Healthcare, and he's a member of Harvard Entrepreneurial. Welcome you, sir. And today we are having about 2 chief guests, and another chief guest is Mr. Stephen Gabron, Business of Southwest Deputy Chair, and he is also a Deputy Chair of Cape Connect Joint Founder and Geography of Business Referral on the topic of his group founder. Today he is going to give a topic on a mission of making 1,000 business owners by 2023. His vision is to reset with new skills from new thinking, with new strategies by new leadership. So I hope that you all enjoy the session. I express my warm wishes to all the participants for showing your eager participation, and special welcome to Mr. Anandraj. And this is the third program for our Annai College of Arts and Science. So I think that we can do lot number of program to motivate our students as well as faculty. Since it's a critical time, we can able to bring out over a lot of young businessmen to forecast over for the welfare of our country. So welcome, sir. So let me hand over the session to Tirumula and to Anandraj to proceed on. Thank you, one and all.
Yes, good afternoon and all. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, audible, Lauren.
It's been pleasure to welcome Dr. Sumit Aggarwal. He is one of my personal mentor, and he has done a lot of entrepreneurial activities outside India. I really welcome, and I have shared his profile for your participants' view in our WhatsApp group. That will be really great. And I just want Dr. Sumit Aggarwal to proceed the session. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Very good. First of all, I just wanted to thank everybody to give me this an opportunity to interact with the students and the faculty and give some kind of industry insights, right? And for that, I have prepared one presentation, and I'm going to be sharing my screen. And then I'm going to be orienting everybody that what is the current state, what is the future state, and how we can create a path towards the future state, and how the academia is going to be a catalyst in driving the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Okay, so that is, so this is what exactly I'm going to be doing. So give me a minute. I'm sharing my screen. Disabled. Can you please enable the?
Yes. Dr. Thiru sir, I just want the access for the whole, our chief guest.
Anand, sir.
Yeah.
Now, sir will share his screen.
Okay, fine. Sir, you can access now. I think you got the access from the college.
Yes. Is my can you put mute? There is some distortion. I request everybody to put on mute.
Okay, fine. I just want the host to check now and then regarding the voice disturbances, so that will be easy for our guest presentation.
Yes.
Okay.
So is
except sir, all are muted right now.
So is my screen visible to you guys now?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay, perfect. So this is the topic of today, right? And this particular topic is very close to my heart, and I've been talking a lot about this topic. Okay, so thanks for the wonderful introduction, and my profile is there. You can Google me out, Dr. Sumit Aggarwal, Sababio Consulting, and I'm absolutely accessible. Drop me a text. My number is there on Snap. Go to LinkedIn, wherever. I'm very active on social media. Drop me any text. I'm going to be responding to that, depending upon the kind of bandwidth you have. Okay. So today, what I'll do is I'm going to give you, first of all, a orientation, quick, fast orientation. What is the current state? Okay. So current state, it's 2020 is the year of virus. That the state of economic depression. Why it is economic depression? Because 27 trillion of US dollar of wealth has been eradicated from the equities, derivatives, and the businesses. Okay. And 27 trillion is close to 10 times the GDP of India. This is a huge amount of wealth which has been eradicated by this COVID-19. And when we talk about the state of economic depression, I was doing the global economic depression analysis, and I came down to know that 10 million plus businesses in the US are filing for bankruptcy. Equivalent amount of bankruptcies are coming down in China as well, because in China, the blood and soul of their businesses is mid segment and small businesses. So China is huge dragon today because of the fact that their business is run by small and mid segment businesses. And there also 12 to 15 million bankruptcies are being filed. Okay. And when you're going to go to the European side, equivalent amount of equal to amount of economic depression is there. And once you are going to move to India, India is going to be very, very, very worst in quarter 3. Okay. And I always start with the problem. Okay? So I'm a troublemaker because I always believe the bigger is the problem, the bigger is the opportunity to solve it, right? So that's the reason I'm giving you a snapshot. The problem is huge, but if the problem is huge, it means that's a huge opportunity for us to solve that, whether it is in small pieces or into the big pieces. It depends upon our thinking set, how we are able to materialize and capitalize on those opportunities to solve that problem, right? So most of the times, what happens, it becomes very difficult for us to troubleshoot the problem, right? So we are confused by symptoms with the problem. If you go to a doctor, you say, I have a headache. So headache is not a problem, right? It's just a symptom of some problem, right? So similarly, what you have to do is don't confuse yourself symptom with the problem. So problem requires a right diagnostic. From right diagnostic, you come down to a precision analysis. From precision analysis, you can design a solution, implement that solution, and then you can solve that problem. So please, it is my piece of advice. Just don't confuse yourself with symptom and a problem. Okay. And it is a state of uncertainty. Okay. Why I say it is a state of uncertainty, and what is the definition of uncertainty for that matter in ESG world? ESG is economic, societal, and governance, right? And what is risk? I guess most of the students are, if they are studying the business or business management or some commerce student, they understand what is the risk. So just wanted to make this term more relatable. I will define a little bit what exactly is the risk. Risk is where the outcome is absolutely known to us. Okay. So when there's a volcano, there is a fire, there is a disaster. So outcome is aware. We are aware of the outcome, right? And that is called risk. And when the outcome is aware, what we do is we do a lot of permutations, we do a lot of combinations and create a mitigation matrix where we can figure it out that how big is the impact, what is the financial impact, what is the impact of the lives, how fast we can recover, and what we can do at least to defer this particular area, or to be prepared for this risk, right? So that is a risk when you're aware of the outcome. Okay. And uncertainty is the area when you are absolutely not aware of the outcome. When you're absolutely not aware of the outcome, then it becomes very difficult for us to even design some kind of plan, design some kind of strategy, design some kind of execution method, because we are absolutely not sure what exactly is going to happen tomorrow in what piece of the world, right? The way this viral is impacting the businesses, the way this viral is impacting the human lives, the way it is impacting the multiple use cases, there is absolutely unsurety that what exactly is going to be the state forward. So that is the reason that you might have seen there is so much ambiguity which is happening in the political scenario as well. Political guys are taking some decisions which are kind of not acceptable to the people. There are certain decisions they want, there are certain areas they want better decisions, better methods, better things, right? But again, the entire system is so much uncertain that they are not aware, they are not prepared of the outcome. So it impacts the decision-making process. When it impacts the decision-making process, it also impacts the execution plan. Okay. And we are also sure about the fact there is a huge impact on the use cases. Use cases are nothing but the domains. So you can make it out that entire aviation industry has been put on hold. Entire hospitality industry has been put on hold. Entire interstate transportation has been put on hold. Because of this, transportation industry has been put on hold. There is a huge impact of revenue loss on petroleum economies, right? So that is your domino impact, right? And the second area, if you're going to see the cruises, hotel, tourism, everything has been put on hold. So after that, you are going to see retail. In retail, the consumption has gone down. There is a term called PMI, which is Purchase Manager Index, which determines the actually performance of an economy in a particular domain. That is called PMI, Purchase Manager Impact, which means in what area people are spending, that particular area is going to grow. If you're going to spend on automobile, So automobile area is going to grow. If you're going to spend on apparels, the apparels area is going to grow, right? If you're going to spend on footwear area is going to grow. If you're going to spend on services, service area is going to grow. So that is called purchase manager index. But at this point, what exactly has happened, the PMI has come down in India from 49% to 5%. It means the people are not buying. You can go back to your own houses or your own lives. You can also figure it out what was the last thing you have bought apart from the essential commodities, right? So did you bought furniture? Did you bought some kind of, in last 2 to 3 months, did you buy some car? Did you buy some clothes, shoes, or some kind of luxury item? My answer to this is absolutely no. Nobody has bought it. So nobody has bought it. It means there is a huge impact on the purchase, and in that particular area, that economy has been impacted. So that is the impact on the use cases. So now I say a term very often that forecast is gone, because there's so much uncertainty. We are not in a position to forecast things. So we have been kind of trained, or we have been kind of taught that we have to create some kind of budgets, we have to create forecast reports, we have to do monetary forecast, we have to do some kind of growth acceleration forecast, how the session is going to look like tomorrow, what exactly is going to be the number of students they're going to come down to the student. From that we can translate what exactly is going to be the economic performance of that particular institution, right? This is what we in traditional method, this is what we that is the practice what we are following. But post-COVID, the forecast is absolutely gone. We are absolutely unsure of the fact whether you wanted to invest in the infrastructure which is related to digital learning. Yes or no? Do you want to buy a Salesforce cloud for education? Yes, no. Do you want to buy a Google virtual teams cloud for education? Yes, no. Do we want to create that kind of infrastructure which is related to the digital learning or e-learning, which is going to be a new norm? Answer is again maybe yes, maybe no. We are not absolutely sure if we are going to invest kind of billions of dollars in creating that digital infrastructure. What exactly is going to happen to our capex what we have invested, right? There is a huge money we have invested in building the colleges, creating the facilities of transportation, bringing on the biggest of the labs, procuring one of the biggest equipments possible, right? What exactly we are going to do with that? There is 200, 300 rupees investment which has gone there. So that is a huge sunken cost. That is also become an obstacle for us to take a new emerging technology induction decisions, right? Because there's a huge cost into it. So this is, again, that's the reason I say forecast is gone. So when there is a huge depression, forecast is gone, we are not sure what is the state of future, there has to be some method of certainty, right? There has to be some plan which has to be executed to make sure that their certainty prevails. From projection, we have to move to prediction, right? There has to be some predictive environment we have to create for ourselves so that we are in a position to take some logical decisions, right? At least not for a long term, but for a short term. And those kind of short term micro level decisions are definitely going to impact the quality of long term decisions, right? Am I making some sense? Please nod your head. If I'm making some sense, please nod your head, right? So there has to be some kind of plan, there has to be some strategy. And yes, there is definitely a plan, there is definitely a strategy. And that particular strategy is called UDA. So UDA is the strategy which is observe, orient, develop, action, and agreement. This is a strategy which I have implemented in large business enterprises. I have designed a lot of UBA methods to actually overcome the certainty and create a decision process which is absolutely conducive and going into the right direction, which also determines the quality of decision for the quality economic output. Okay, so what is UDA? UDA means what exactly what we have to do. UDA means number one, what we have to do is we have to observe the entire economic, societal, and governance area, ESG. We have to look out what exactly is happening in the economy. We have to see what exactly is happening in society. I mean, when we are talking about economy, then we have to see that financial implications. When we are coming down to society, we have to see that what exactly is impact on the human lives, right? So there is a huge impact when you go to Maharashtra on the human lives. If you go to Italy, there's a huge impact on the society itself, apart from your economic depression. So ESG, economic, societal, and governance. When we are talking about the governance, so definitely the Maharashtra governance has been shaken, right? Similarly, if you can go back, the finance minister of Germany, he committed the suicide. Okay, so because of this kind of this kind of depression. So those are the kind of data points what you have to take in order to first observe the things. So you have to create a data sets. So these are the points which I have to observe in economic, societal, and governance area. Once you collect the data, you observe that, then what you have to do is you have to orient yourself. Orient means that what is the logical interpretation of that data? What data is speaking to you? Data is telling you something, right? Data is telling you that there are close to 6.6 million COVID infected people today in the world. It is telling you we have got touched 2.5 lakh COVID infections in India. By this hypothesis, by this rate of infection hypothesis, we can make it out that particular infection is not going to go very soon. There is no vaccination. That is the orientation. Okay. So similarly, what we have done, we have to orient ourselves in our area of operation as well. So we have to see what exactly is impact on the area of operation. So area of operation is education, right? So then you have to just see what are the stalwarts or the change agents, either the people or the institutions in this particular area, what they are doing. So you have to just go and see what Harvard is doing. You have to see what MIT is doing. You have to see what IIT is doing. You have to see what ISB is doing, right? You have to figure it out, change agent. You have to also think out, you have to also look at the market. What are the best practices market have started? The industry experts have started implementing in these areas. That is also going to give you a lot of insights of the orientation. You have to see what exactly is being done by Deloitte. You have to see what exactly is done by Google. You have to see what is Morgan Chase is doing. So especially you have to orient yourself. Once you have to orient yourself, there is many logical interpretation is going to come down. There's going to be much clarity in your head for what exactly is happening around the world. So you will not be beating around the bush. You have observed yourself. Now you have got a real set of data points in front of you. And now is the time when you have to develop some kind of action plan. So development is a short-term development plan, right? And which is going to be converted into a mid-term and the long-term plans, right? It has to be logically connected. Right now is a short-time decision making. It is a circumstantial decision making environment. So you have to take more of a short-term decisions instead of a long-term decisions, right? So once we develop a plan, keeping all the stakeholders, giving them the responsibilities of data collection, responsibilities of understanding what is the data saying, thinking like Google, right? So what we have to do is once we develop that plan, then we have to have some kind of actionable. What is the actionable? Now, whether we have to move to the digital learning side or we don't. So once we develop that action plan, then we have to take some kind of agreements from the stakeholders. When we're talking about the stakeholders, there can be promoters, there can be directors, there can be compliance, there can be market oriented, there can be tax oriented, there can be infra oriented. All those agreements you have to do, and you have to just go into the market, right? And once you do this OODA, you have to do that micro level OODA loops in your all workflows, so that micro level decision making is surgical, is precision oriented. Okay. In this particular time, what I say, there is a caveat that you have to do the ligometry. Ligometry is a method. Ligometry is a word, Latin word. Ligo means dar. Metry means matrix, which means quantify the lack of knowledge. Okay, which means you have to also figure it out what exactly is the area you're not oriented, the kind of skill set what you have to build. You have to see that this is the area if I am going, what is the kind of capacity and capability what I have in order to implement this plan. It's very important to quantify lack of knowledge. And this is also a time of a strategy where there is a strategy called blue ocean. So I say it is a time of a blue ocean shift, which means that you have to figure it out, the new areas, new avenues, okay, new areas of business, new areas of income, new areas of new areas of creating more businesses, right? You have to, this is the time when you have to start thinking that how we are in a position to diversify our portfolio, how we have to fork out our portfolio, how we have to, you know, hive off our portfolio, what exactly has to be the economic layout in the nearing future. So this is also a time that we should forget the competition. What exactly is for competition is doing, we have to just keep our eyes closed. There might be certain competitor who have got a lot of money. There might be certain competitor who doesn't have the money. So everybody's decision is going to be dependent on multiple factors. So there's no going to be a qualitative benchmark decision at this moment. So it's better to forget competition. Just orient yourself what exactly is the competition doing. But for time, in order to be a competitive, don't be a competitive in these times of uncertainty. Okay. So once we do this OODA methodology, that is going to create a roadmap to the future state. Now I'm going to give you a kind of orientation how the future is going to look like, right? So from uncertainty, we created some kind of plans. Now we are absolutely clear that what exactly is the future like. So I'm also going to probably give you a fact set absolutely into the education system of India. So currently we have got 500 million students in India, and 10% of that are in higher studies. Okay, and when we are talking about 10% of higher studies, that means that we have got 50 million students which are in the higher studies, and next 10 years, by this pace of 10% deviation of induction and regression, I guess we have to create close to 500 new employable opportunities in India, which is like 30-40% of the total population of India, which is population is bigger population than the Schengen or the Nordic region. It is next to impossible that we can create 500 new employable opportunities. The law of economic demand and supply is going to come down. There's going to be a lot of supply, and there's going to be no demand for the talent, right? So we have to orient. We have to see that 500 million people in next 10 years is going to be a huge task to employ them, right? So after that, what we have to figure it out that the world is transforming itself to the digital world now. More of the things are working in a digital environment, but we got to orient ourselves. There's a difference between literacy and digital literacy. So let's not confuse ourselves with the literacy and the digital literacy. There's a probability there is a guy who's a PhD doctorate, is a literate man, world renowned man, but his digital IQ is poor, right? He is not digitally literate. He doesn't know what exactly is happening with this app. And there are certain people I've seen, they don't know how to plug into a Zoom meeting. But this guy is a PhD, right? That is a digital literacy. So digital literacy also should become the mainstream now. So we are living in a nation where computer sciences is a subject which is still not a mainstream subject. It is not a subject which is coming down after 10th into a PCM, which is physics, chemistry, and math. They're still PCM, right? Or MPC, right? Format. So computer science is not the mainstream, but it has to be mainstream because digital literacy is the new norm. Okay. So we have to again be very clear about this fact. What is the digital literacy? What is the digital IQ? And what is the literacy? So let's not confuse ourselves between these three terms. We have to enable these three as the education catalysts. And then we have to also see that digital infra is required in order to do. There are so many technical problems when we are doing that's remote work, remote meetings. Sometimes electricity is not there. Sometimes speed is not there. Sometimes internet is not there. There can be multiple glitches, right? Infra. When we're talking about the infra, India comes into the bottom 10 of some of the good country. One of the 100 countries of digital infra, India comes down the bottom 10, right? We are talking that we are going to go digital, but there's no infra to support it, right? So we have to also make sure that digital infra has to be equipped in order to give this kind of digital learning, because there is many Lot many classrooms, virtual classrooms. There's so much data transfer which is happening. So many 100,000 people are logged in at a one single point in time. And there was a time I know, if you can Google it, Zoom was crashed globally. Zoom is totally crashed globally, right? So AWS servers were crashed. There is so much load, right? So digital infra, India's bottom 10. And then the other thing which we got to be very clear, that when we are inducting some student into a higher studies mode, so that we have to navigate close to 8 to 10 years of the journey to make him employable, right? He is gonna be inducted in 10th. After 10th, he's gonna be 2 years. After 2 plus 3 years, then there's gonna be another 2 or 3 years of higher studies, right? So this is a close to 8 to 10 years of math. So we have to orient ourselves that what exactly the world is gonna look like 10 years from now. What are the skill sets which are gonna be in demand from not today, but 10 years from now, because somebody whom you are going to induct is going to be employable or earning their livelihood after 10 years, right? So we have to think 10 years ahead. So there's a probability. There's a research which came down, and I was going through that report. It says that 80% of the skill sets of today are going to be obsolete in next 5 to 7 years. But this COVID-19 has accelerated that pace, because digital transformation pace has actually increased. That 5 to 7 years have been reduced down to only 1 or 2 years. It has just started now. The skill set like doctors, right? Doctors are coming down into the virtual consultations. Unless and until they don't have a digital infra, they don't have a digital IQ, they cannot support their patients. So there are so many skill sets. Chartered accountants, for that matter, entire company has moved to a digital infra. So your physical audits are going to be no norm in future. There's going to be IS audits. The IS audits have been started, but that is going to be for every new or every small and mid segment businesses as well, right? So because you're all accounting, all ERP is going to be digital now. And imagine a chartered accountant who's not well versed with digital kind of audits, what exactly is going to do, right? So these are kind of obsolete skill sets which you have to be very closely watching, right? So this is the fact chat. Once we do the fact chat, this is the future state, and it is very simple. It is not tough to predict, especially for me. Okay. So would I say future state 4IR is a new subject? What is 4IR? 4IR is a fourth industrial revolution. Whenever there is an industrial revolution is going to come down, it is going to kill the old skill set, old methods, old businesses, and give birth to new skill sets, new methods, and new businesses. You can have a dichotomy of first industrial revolution, second industrial revolution, third, and we are heading to fourth industrial revolution now, right? We are also stepped into fourth industrial revolution, but this particular post-COVID-19 state of incident has accelerated that space. So we should orient ourselves. What is the fourth IR? Let's start thinking, inducting that kind of DNA in us first and to our students, right? So that's the reason I've told it's a new subject. So start teaching about fourth IR. Okay. So digital learning is a new normal. I mean, it is again a subject which is very close to my heart. So I always give a dichotomy. If we go back 8 to 10 years, the correspondence base of study was not the mainstream, and every organization or the people have got a very different purview or the view for people who are doing the distance-based learning, right? Correspondence, we have got open schools, we had IGNO came down, right? And but the degrees which were coming down of the degrees or certificates which were coming down of this open and distance learning method of education were not, the weightage was not given to at par with the other ones, right? But at this moment, that the whole entire scenario has been changed. So digital learning or distance mode learning is a new norm, right? So that it is a new norm. Okay. So then what I say is that what I have to do is we have to start thinking out of brick and mortar. Okay? So what does it mean, thinking out of brick and mortar? Thinking out of brick and mortar means that again, the kind of businesses which are highly capital intensive, where there are so much infra is required, infra has been deployed, right? They have to start thinking of transforming themselves digital. Whether it is hospital or education or malls or can be other areas which we can figure it out, which are into a brick and mortar. So we have to start thinking out of brick and mortar. So fintech acceleration has also started. When we're talking about a fintech acceleration, there are certain evidences that that the currency notes have carried some kind of contagion. There are certain people, they have been infected by exchanging the currency notes as well. So that is also a reason that more of the digital methods have started becoming a new normal. Google Pay, Paytm, WhatsApp transfer, Visa, XYZ have become a new normal. But this is a method. Not only the method, the money is also going to be a digital money now, right? So from right now, the money is a fiat money, which is a currency note, which is a physical money. So in very short term of time, the money is also going to be digital. And if you're going to go to Dubai, they have also started it with the help of JP Morgan Chase. So money is also going to be a digital. So physical money is not going to continue for some long. And within next 3 to 5 years, you will say there is going to be new shape of money that's going to be digital money. You will have more of a digital accounts. You have got a more of digital point-based money. Okay. And now the other area is digital health. Digital health is nothing but the telemedicine, video consultations, virtual hospitals, e-visits, virtual diagnostics. So tomorrow's hospital is not going to be a hospital like what we have today in 5 to 10 kilometers of proximity with a huge building. Okay, that is not going to be a future hospital. Future hospital is going to be a connected devices. So if you're going to probably see, so 70% of the space in a hospital is allocated to outpatients, OP. And the money comes down from OP is not even 5 to 7% in a hospital, right? So that is the economic disparity in a hospital, space versus income ratio. So 70% of the space has to be allocated for the outpatients, but revenues generated only 5 to 7%. Right, 500 rupees, for example, you say 500 rupees per patient versus one cardiac surgery. Cardiac surgery is 10 lakh, and this is five patients, 500 rupees a patient. At the time of 1 hour, you are in a position to see only 10 patients for that matter. You earn 5,000 rupees. In surgery, cardiac surgery of one hour, you are positioned to get 10 lakh rupees. You understand that kind of the economic disparity, right? So all that 70-80% of that 70-80% of that particular outpatient area is going to transform to digital consultation, right? So there's a huge opportunity in this area. So then other thing I say is now is a time of remote culture, because social distancing is going to stay for long. Then we should accept this remote culture, right? There are going to be no out of home or entertainments. There are going to be no out of home foods, outings, picnics. That's not going to stay. So what we have to do is we have to create a in-home or remote kind of culture for us, so that we should not be impacted, right? As a human, we are so much emotional, and we have a tendency, we say ourselves as a social animal. So society is a digital society now. So we should try and orient ourselves into the digital societies. So we should also embrace that digital culture, right? So again, what I say is there is a caveat that we are moving from a digitizing work to working digitally. because if you're going to go back like 10 years, whole automation was happening, only business workflows, they were being automated. Right now, the method of work has been digitally. Right? So that is the difference, right? So we were working with the machines on the automations. Now we are actually working on machines, right? So that is digitizing work to working digitally. So this is also a time of that there has to be a lot of empathy. We should move from a hardware to hardware. So we should always choose values over vision. So there is a probability we have got a very aggressive vision for ourselves, but it's a time of values, right? It's a time when there are a lot of depression, a lot of deaths are happening. There's a disease is going to stay here, right? So we have to more empathetic, more value in rather vision, right? And we have to also create a digital work experience. So as far as the education institution is concerned, if you are going to probably you are going to follow the same format of education delivery the way you were doing offline, that is not going to work, right? 7 to 8 hours of daily physical learning versus digital learning, there's a huge impact. So you should also
Sorry for the interruption, sir. I have a question for you. I just want to share your LinkedIn profile link here in the WhatsApp, and I used to follow all your posts and updates from your company as well as your personal profile. What do you say? I just want you to suggest, because since we have a lot of college owners in this particular group and college principals, as you say about the digital thing is kind of rushing up, and you have covered all the thing. It's very informative, and the main thing, since you are an Indian, you travel a lot. You work with MIT, you work with Harvard. I see a lot of regular posts, and you work with many seminars and conferences. I just want you to suggest the colleges do's and don'ts about this digital kind of a thing, and how our company is going to face this. So that will be really great, because each and everyone will follow you personally in your LinkedIn, and that will be great, because I personally follow all your comments and all kind of stuff in LinkedIn as well as in Facebook. So similarly, I just want you to share with our audience, so they'll have a clear.
I will do that. So that's a huge subject. Okay. What we have to talk about connected things, which is the future of work, future of education, future of culture, future of academia. That is a huge subject. How the connected education is going to take place now. It's a more of a connected education. So I am not going to digress right now, but that's a huge area. I am going to create one presentation and will be love to share with, first of all the stakeholders. If you're in a position to arrange some kind of seminar for all the stakeholders, which are like 100, 200 decision makers or college owners. So I'm in a position to tell me what exactly is the current state, again, the future state, and what are the do's and don'ts. What has to be the strategy? What is the digital infra, digital literacy? That's all part of that, right? So how we can enhance the digital literacy ratios versus the literacy ratio. We should be at par with literacy and digital literacy ratio. It should not. Right now, there's a huge disparity. So if you're going to see the dichotomy, there are people who are digitally literate, but they're not literate. So especially the millennial, right? Especially the millennial, they have got a lot of their tech savvy, but they're not literate. But if you're going to see the literate people who are like 60 years of age, they have done PhDs, they're not digitally literate, right? So there are many things which you have to do on this area. But yes, I'm in a position to guide you through and navigate through what exactly are don'ts and don'ts. Okay.
Yes, as you said, I have good connections with various colleges and organizations in India as well as in Tamil Nadu. So I can, as you said, I can arrange a panel meeting, or I can arrange the owners kind of thing. So that will be great for each and every person to work on this.
100%. So now we are aware of the future state. What is the future state? So if you're going to probably see from the time when I started this seminar, there was so uncertainty, right? We weren't sure that what we have to do. Now we are absolutely clear what is the kind of direction what we have to choose. What is the methodology what you have to choose, right? We have some clarity. I have given you some kind of data points, some kind of predictions. So by that, you are absolutely sure that this is the way we have to take the direction, right? I am also going to be sharing this PowerPoint presentation. This is going to help you a lot. I'm telling you, make it as a cheat sheet, and this is going to help you. Now, the major subject of today is how academia is going to foster this entrepreneurial mindset, right? the way I said, there was a data point which has said that 500 million new employable opportunities which are next to impossible. And what exactly the academia has to do? Academia is a catalyst in incubating the talent and giving that, become a source of talent to the industry, right? And the source of talent which drives the economic performance of a country or a world, right? So if you're going to see, education is going to equip a student, and that student is going to directly help the organization or the country to earn the livelihood for oneself or for others, right? So this is the movement, and academia has to be catalyst at this moment, because you know that the world is going to be in this direction now. These are the skill sets which are going to be in demand. This is the area which is going to be up at this moment. There's a probability factory is not going to stay. So brick and mortar is not going to stay for long. So e-commerce is going to be there. So e-commerce skill sets, when you're talking about e-commerce is going to stay, there's a probability logistic is going to also grow, right?
Exactly.
These are the skill sets. So these are the skill sets we should understand, and we should not wait somebody or compliance to start imparting that knowledge inside the education setup, right? We don't have to, because there's a compliance that is going to take some time for that particular courses to induct into your education system. So just don't follow you also have to challenge the status quo. You don't have to just follow the same norms, right? If there's going to be no harm in setting the example for the future state, right? So what I say, what is the catalyst movement now? We say that it is a catalyst. We know that it is going to be, education institution is going to be playing a phenomenal role in creating that future state, right? And how we do it now? What we have to do is, we are aware that these kind of employable opportunities are next to impossible to create. Then what we have to do is, we have to start fostering the entrepreneurial DNA. Okay. When we talk about the DNA is hardwired in us. Okay. It is not something which we acquire. So it starts from your thought process. But first of all, we have to start putting that thought process in our head, right? So entrepreneur is going to be a new norm, right? It is going to be a new normal. We have to, it is a proverb that you teach somebody, you give somebody a fish, you feed for one day. You teach somebody for a fish and you feed it for their whole life. So that is the vital methodology which is going to be applying in today's environment. So once we are fostering the entrepreneurial DA, we have to also embrace the gig economy. Gig economy is more of a skill-based economy, more of a flexible economy, and it is more of a performance-based economy. So gig economy, there are a lot of industry and organizations have adopted it. So it is the time for an education system to know more about the gig economy. So gig economy is, for example, take the example of Uber, right? So driver of Uber has got a leverage to drive Uber. He has got a leverage to drive Ola, and he has also leverage to drive somebody else's cab, and he has also leverage to drive his own cab, right? In those 8 to 10 or 24 hours of the time, and nobody is going to bound him. He drives his own performance by himself. There is no micromanagement on his head. So he has taken the onus of his own performance, right? So there is a clearly contract which is going to follow with the obligation. If you're going to work for 4 hours, you are going to be paid for those 4 hours. If you're going to work for 8 hours, you're going to be paid for 8 hours, right? So it is called a flexible, skill-based and performance-based. It is more of a micro managed, micro performance oriented economy. Close to 750 million people in the US have also adopted this economy, gig economy. You can Google it out. There is a McKinsey study on gig economy. That is a new norm. The next generation, this Gen Z wants to have a kind of different kind of living. They don't want to stay in that traditional 9 to 6 environment of work, right? They want to pursue their passion. They want to be very flexible. right? So that is the gig economy. And future of work is again more of a digital future of work, remote work. So again, we gotta embrace it. And future of skills, once we are aware of all those things which are going to go in this direction, what we have to do is again, future skills becomes an opportunity. If as an education system catalyst, we start teaching those future of skills, that is going to be definitely logically connected with the industry, and that is going to be garnering a lot of economic value for organization plus the individual and plus the society and the governments, right? So for everybody it is going to be beneficial. Once we foster that entrepreneurial DNA, what we have to do is we have to also enable the ecosystem. By fostering entrepreneurial DNA, I am also suggesting create some kind of enterprise courses and academies or labs inside the education system, right? I'm also suggesting it. So set up some kind of, it is not going to be only just foster the entrepreneurial DNA. There's going to be definitely a long list of what has to be done in order to foster it, right? So in order for us, you have to create some kind of business labs, you have to create some kind of enterprise academies, you have to bring the industry stalwarts like us who are in a position to give the insights of the industry and probably drive that entrepreneurial spirit amongst the students, right? So enable the ecosystem. So what I say is that ecosystem is already there, right? What we have to do is we have to enable it. Talent, we are as a education institution, we are the catalyst in developing the talent and in giving that, sourcing that talent to the industry, right? Now what we have to do is we also embrace the new methodologies, new technologies in our education setups. So we are absolutely aware that what exactly is Google thinking, what are the kind of skill sets, what they are asking from us, and make them stakeholders. So they can come down and they're going to be willing to come down into the institutes and give their own technologies so that the students have hands-on experience in those technology and the products, right? So Googles, Morgan Chase, Intels of the world, they're going to be happy to leverage. And this digital mode of learning has actually accelerated the learning space so rapidly that it has gone boundaryless without any barriers. Right? You can just.
Yes, sir. Am I audible for you?
Yes.
I have a very important question. As you said, a lot of colleges are now forced to implement these kind of digital classes and digital environment, as you say. You know about the South Indian set of colleging aspects, like there are a lot of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 colleges. They are now forced and they don't have any other option. Before we are into a forced scenario, why can't we just go? As you said, I see a lot of great contents from your side. It's really great. I just want you to make, as you said, a LinkedIn live session. That will be great. So all these Q&A will be, I'll post you in your personal page, or I just want you to open up any other platform.
Sure.
Since it's not going to be one day or another. I just want a long-term project with you experts as well. That's my long-term vision. So I just really want to open up your LinkedIn Q&A session. That will be really great, because we are getting lots and lots of followers and a lot of time zone constraints are there. And since you got your next set of drive-through and programs as well, I just really want to follow up. I really know, but still our audience want to know more information about the company. I'll just share in the WhatsApp group which we have already.
You do that, and you can see the services, the kind of services which you offer are definitely a subject of today. That's not only a service. So if I say research and analytics kind of projects, what we do, that's a subject of today. We are going to teach that how you can do that RNA, and what are the technologies or what are the methods being used to do the RNA, and for what are the countries what are the companies they are acquiring these kind of RNA, which is research and analytics, right? So if you can go through that, there are a lot of services. There are not only services, but those are education oriented modules.
Sir, I have a guest to welcome. Good afternoon, Mr. Gabriel. I think you are here. I just want you to wave your hand for our special guest as well. Is he online? so that it will be really great that our both guest interactions, that will be really great, because I think he's online, it seems. Is he online? I just want the host to make sure and drop me a message. That will be great. Yes, sir. You can. It's on you.
So what I was saying is how we have to enable the ecosystem. For an ecosystem, we require three things: talent, technology, and capital. Talent, we know how to induce it. Technology, we are now aware that how we have to go and procure the technology. We have to make those industry participants. What is the capital? Capital is investments. How we have to create that capital friendly environment. There are so many cohorts, there are so many organizations, there are so many venture capital funds who are actually investing in free ideas, investing in the seed stage, where the students of today start building some kind of prototypes, start building some kind of projects, some kind of ideas, right? So we have to start funding that now. And how we have to do is make these private equity, venture capital, individual investor, angel investors participant to our ecosystem, right? So that is how we have to enable the ecosystem. Other is we have to do the incubation of free ideas, because today's one free idea of today's tomorrow's unicorn is going to be a decacorn. We have seen the people actually like Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, they are dropouts and they have created $1 billion businesses. Why? Only because of this, that free idea was not incubated in that education setup. If that would have been incubated in that education setup, they would have not been called the dropouts and the billionaires of creating a world's one of the best startups or the enterprises. What we do is we are being wired with our traditional colonial DNA so much that we are not able to promote that free ideas. But we gotta accept that, make it as a golden line or a kind of goal for ourselves for future, that today's idea is going to be a tomorrow's decathlon. So there is definitely a method by which we can validate what is the quality of that idea. How are we in a position to create that idea into a minimal viable product, from minimal viable product to a product, from product to a business. So there are definitely different methodologies to do that. But first is the idea. Our job as a catalyst in order to build that entrepreneurial mindset is to incubate those free ideas. Again, I give a kind of dichotomy. If you're going to see a sports as a skill or a music as a skill into a student, what we do as an education system or as a parent, incubate it, right? This guy is very good in cricket. What we do is we start teaching them more cricket. Somebody is good in guitar, we start teaching them in more guitar. Similar in education setup, what we do is we incubate that kind of skill set of that particular student in some kind of curricular activity, some competition, everything is there. But there is not even a single method where we can incubate the free idea and convert that idea into a business. So what we have to do is inculcate that environment. There has to be an inclusive environment where incubate that idea. Plus, we are also creating an environment of demonstrating those ideas and how we can create that quality idea into the business. Okay. Then the most important thing is transition. Right now, what happens that most of the education, the thought process of most of the education, I don't want to defend anybody, but this is the thought of an education institution, that the quality of an education institution is judged by the campus they bring on to their setup to take the students. Okay, if an education system has got a campus like Google's or Deloitte's or Accenture's or Morgan Chase of the world, it is assumed it has got a quality of education, right? But it is not like that. There's a probability that these biggest organizations are not able to access these certain education setups in some remote parts of the country or of the world, right? So let's not confuse again to that. But as a catalyst, it is our responsibility now that we have to move our thought process from campus to business value creator. So we should be very vocal about stating the fact we have incubated this business. right? Instead of saying that our student has gone to this company, right, and he has got this fat paycheck. So this is current scenario. Our student has gone to a Google and he has this kind of fat paycheck. Rather, what should have the narrative of our school or our education setup has incubated this $1 million business, and we have enabled that ecosystem for that particular $1 billion business, right? So this movement is very important, from a campus to more of a business value creation. And once we do all of these things together with the right method, with the right business processes, I believe there's going to be no halt, no speed bump for us. And by this, I guess I have to kind of sign off. I have another meeting lined up.
Yes, sir. I have a
I am open for some questions.
Yes, on behalf of Annai College of Arts and Science, on behalf of Indian segment, we welcome Mr. Stephen from Australia. He is our next guest. It's a true honor that he is listening to us, and he is going to be the next session's guest. I just welcome our prime guest, Dr. Sumit Aggarwal, to have a little bit of 2-minute quick discussion with our Stephen. And he is an expert, and he is having a vision of 1,000 startups in 2023. And I'll just send his profile to you. It's a kind of a great gathering kind of an aspect. So I have a lot of questions in my pop-up screen, and I have personal messages for Dr. Sumit Aggarwal. And I'll share his.
Please share that. If I have some kind of questions, if I'm in a position to pick up that in next 5 minutes, that's going to be great.
Sure. It's open. I just want the participants. You have any questions, you can drop down the text here for our prime guest today. That will be great. So it will be easy for us. Dr. Thirumalan, I just want you to just check with the participants' question, so they can text or they can come in on voice and have a discussion with our guest today.
Or I suggest you take up all the questions, right? Make a note of it, send that to me. I will reply all the questions back.
Thank you.
Right? So it's better that I'll touch every question and try to respond everybody. Or probably if you can share that link of LinkedIn with everyone, they can follow me and come down on my LinkedIn page and drop me a personal. I am on the LinkedIn. I'll make sure that I'll reply back. And that is also going to help me to document those questions for future.
Yes, exactly. I'll document with the Word format and I'll send you. I just want a request for all the audience. Since our chief guest has 30,000 plus followers, I don't want everyone to drop a personal message to him. I just want to follow.
You can drop it. You can drop it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I am going to take some time for sure, but I got to make sure that I'm going to reply back.
Sure. It's been a true honor. I just want Dr. Thirumalan to make this draft in a Word format for each and every questions, and our chief guest will be coming in for LinkedIn Live. After discussing with him on a personal note, he'll be joining us. And me personally, as an entrepreneur, I got a lot of ideas. See, I have a lot of notes from our chief guest. It's a special thing for me. I have taken complete notes. I have a lot of questions and things to work.
Make some sense, right? That is created some kind of value for everybody, and that is the goal.
Since as a host, I just need to go for WhatsApp text reply and all kind of things, but I personally listened and I've taken all the notes. It's really kind of edge seat session. I really registered this particular thing. It's very, very informative, and definitely I'm really proud to have you as my personal mentor. It's really great and happy to be a part. And for everyone's note, Dr. Sumit Aggarwal is one of our prime guests for the Great Asian Online Summit. I'll just share that in our WhatsApp group. I just want all the participants to stay in that particular WhatsApp group which you are in. I'll send all the updates, all the contents about our chief guest. That this is going to be really an inspiring millions kind of a thing. I just want all the participants to stay in our WhatsApp group. And the next session is with our second prime guest, Mr. Stephen Gabler from Australia. I just want to have a quick hi session. Can you hear me, Mr. Stephen?
Hi, yes. Stephen. How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm well, and you?
It's great to see you here.
How's things to be here.
Australia? How are things there in Australia? You're from Sydney, on Gold Coast, which side?
I'm from the West Coast,
West Coast. Okay.
I live in Bustleton, which is about 230
Brussels.
kilometres south of Perth.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Very nice.
How are things there? Weather is nice now.
Yes, yes, it is normally. It's a bit cool now, but it's normally very nice.
Nice. So,
Is it
Anand,
over to me?
Yep, it's you.
Yes, yes. I just want to make a thank note for our prime guest, Dr. Sumit Aggarwal. I just want the principal, or is it okay for me? Because he is my mentor, and I'm talking to him daily, round the clock in WhatsApp, and it's really an honor, sir. I just want to register that since we youngsters want to learn. I ping you WhatsApp in 2 a.m. You are replying 6 a.m. You are replying, and you are in the session. It's really great, and it's hard for us to cope up with you people. That's really great. I'm really happy to follow all your Facebook contents and LinkedIn. I really prefer LinkedIn because that's really great for these kind of technology kind of stuffs and personal kind of things. So I'll just request all our participants to come on LinkedIn for the Q&A for our Dr. Aggarwal's profile. That will be really great. And I really thank you is a kind of a single word, and I just want you to.
Don't have to thank me. I am thankful for you for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you, sir. It's a mutual thing. Really
wonderful. Thanks. I'm gonna be signing off now. I have to rush. Right. Thanks, Stephen. I'm gonna catch you soon on some other meeting. Please, Anand. I guess arrange some kind of meeting with Stephen and me. We're gonna exchange some kind of ideas, right?
Sure. Actually, we have a separate set of capital and board investment kind of meeting. I'll just keep you posted, sir. As you said, I'm working round the clock. Thank you, sir. Bye bye, sir.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Sir.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's an honor. Thank you. And I just want to go for the second session of today. I welcome Mr. Stephen Gabler from Australia, and his mission is all about making 1,000 startups and 1,000 business owners by the end of 2023, and it's really great. And he is a kind of a person, you just go into his LinkedIn profile and say, and I really registered this point at this moment. Age is just really a number. Now at this point of age and at this point of experience kind of things, he is really happy to have some good interactions with youngsters like us and like the audience. On behalf of Annai College of Arts and Science and on behalf of India, I really welcome our second prime guest today, Mr. Stephen Gabler from Australia. And Vanakkam and welcome, sir. Over to you. I just want you to present the session from now.
Thank you. Today, I'm going to be talking about leadership because to me, if you're going to be establishing companies or if you're going to be addressing the challenges of the world today, you need strong leadership. So I will be putting some slides up, so you won't see my ugly face anymore. You'll see the slides, but I'll be talking to those as I go through them. It'll take me about 15 or 20 minutes to get through. And if you have any questions of me or any questions on any of the topics, just send me a message or a text and I will get back to you.
Sure, sir. I have a lot of questions personally, but let me go to this session. That will be really great. I just want the host to give access for our guest for his presentation.
Host disabled screen sharing.
So now,
Right now.
so now you can share it.
Yep, thanks. Right, thank you. I'm talking about what is a good leader and what are the characteristics and qualities of a good leader. I'll go through that. I'll make some suggestions on what you can do to improve your leadership and the leadership of your teams. And also I will take questions, but if you wish to forward those questions to me, I'll respond to them all. Leaders shape nations, they shape communities, and they shape organisations. We need good leaders to help guide us and make the big essential decisions that keep the world moving. Currently, a big issue requiring leadership is COVID-19 and beyond. I put those together because we have the problem of COVID-19 now, and what are we doing as we come out of COVID-19? Both of those aspects require great leadership. And who among you would like to lead this challenge? Our society is usually quick to identify a bad leader, but do we know how to identify a good one? What would most people say make a good leader? Think about that question for a minute. You may have your ideas. Well, I have my suggested ideas and I'll run through them. To enable the leaders of the future, we need to become the leaders of today. I'm Stephen Gabler from stephengabler.com. I'm the founder and CEO of that company, and today I'm coming to you as a leadership and strategy consultant. My mission is to help prepare the leaders of the future so that we leave the world in their safe hands, and then they can create the 1,000 businesses that I wish created by 2023. And what are the characteristics of a good leader? Well, I believe the characteristics and qualities are those 10 that I've listed there. And you can go through them now, but I will be speaking to them each individually on the coming slides. First of all, we have integrity. Integrity. Well, the importance of integrity should be obvious, although it may not necessarily be spoken about a lot inside organisations. Integrity is essential for individuals and for organisations. It's especially important for top-level executives who are charting the organisation's course and making countless other significant decisions. I have found that integrity may actually be a potential blind spot for organisations. You need to make sure your organisation reinforces the importance of integrity to leaders at all levels. Number 2 is the ability to delegate. Delegating is one of the core responsibilities of a leader, but it can be tricky to delegate effectively. The goal isn't just to free yourself up, it's also to enable your direct reports, to facilitate teamwork, to provide autonomy, and it leads to making better decisions. And it's also to help your direct reports grow into becoming better leaders. In order to delegate well, you need to build trust with your team, and trust is very important. And trust has 3 dimensions. Dimension 1 is ability. Does the person have the ability and skills needed to do the job? Integrity. Does this person share the same values and expectations for the project as you do? And loyalty. Based on previous encounters, can the employee confide in you when conflict arises? Next is communication. Effective leadership and effective communication are intertwined. You need to be able to communicate in a variety of ways, from transmitting information to coaching your people, and you must be able to communicate with a range of people across roles of different social identities and more. If you wish to follow these 5 tips that I'm going to share with you, You will learn how to have better conversations to improve your workplace culture. And that the first one is to communicate relentlessly. Communicate information, thoughts, and ideas clearly and frequently and through different media. Simplify and be direct. Say what you mean and be direct. Don't hide behind complexity of any issue or a pile or a ton of information. Simply communicate as best you possibly can with smart communication. Listen and encourage input. Pause. It's okay to be silent. I can do that. Encourage the other person to offer ideas and solutions before you give yours. Do 80% of the listening and 20% of the talking. You'll be amazed at how much great information you gain. And illustrate through stories. When you tell a story, you give it clarity to your vision, goal, or culture. Most people think in pictures, and as you tell the story, it evolves into a picture. Telling stories creates trust, captures hearts and minds, and serves as a reminder of the vision that you've already painted. And people find it much easier to repeat a story than to articulate the vision that you put into words. And affirm with actions. If people hear one thing from you and see another, your credibility is shot. People need to trust you. Number 4 is self-awareness. While this might seem to be a more inward focused skill, self-awareness is paramount for leadership. The better you understand yourself, the more effective you will be. Do you know how other people view you or how you show up at work? I can help you take advantage of the skills you have by applying 4 aspects of self-awareness. One is leadership wisdom. 2 is leadership identity. This is who you are in your current professional and personal context. Leadership reputation. How do others perceive you as a leader based on your current and previous behavior? Leadership brand. This is what you aspire to and the actions you take to support that mission. Gratitude. Give thanks and actually make you feel better as a leader and make you a better leader. Gratitude can lead to higher self-esteem, reduced depression and anxiety, and even better sleep. Few people regularly say thank you at work, even though most people say they'd be willing to work harder for an appreciative boss. Follow these tips and give thanks and practice more gratitude, such as give a note expressing your gratitude. Keep a gratitude journal. That's a list of everything you're grateful for and who that they were provided by. And take time for reflection. Reflect on the many aspects of your job, the large and the small, for which you are grateful. This can boost gratitude levels. learning agility. Well, I believe we learn every day. And if we have learning agility is the ability to know what you don't know when it's, well, learning is to know what you don't know. And it's the ability to find what to do. If you're a quick study or you're able to excel in unfamiliar circumstances, you might already be learning agile. But anybody can foster learning agility through practice, experience, and effort. There are 4 elements of learning agility, and they are seeking, find the stuff you need to know. Making sense, that is determining what you've found out, what is really applicable to your circumstances at the moment. Internalizing it, making it part of your knowledge base, and applying it. Because we can learn a lot of stuff, but if we don't apply that learning, it doesn't actually stick. Influence. For some people, influence feels like a dirty word, but being able to convince people through logical, emotional, or cooperative appeals is a component of being an inspiring, effective leadership. Influence is quite different from manipulation, and it needs to be done authentically and in your team or organisation. It requires emotional intelligence and trust building. Find out how to build the 4 key elements of influencing others by organisational intelligence, that is understanding how things get done, and embrace the reality of working within the organisational politics and move teams and important initiatives forward. Team promotion. Leaders cut through the noise to authentically put credible activities in place, and they promote themselves while also promoting what's good for the entire organisation. Trust building. Because leadership often involves guiding people through risk and change, trust is essential. And leveraging networks. No leader is an island. They are empowered by their connections with others. Empathy. Empathy is correlated with job performance. If you show more empathy towards your direct reports, our research shows you're more likely to be viewed as a better performer by your boss. Empathy is learned, and in addition to making you more effective, it will also improve work for you and those around you. 5 steps to encourage empathy at work. 1. Watch for signs of overwork in others. 2. Show sincere interest in the needs, hopes, and dreams of others. 3. Demonstrate willingness to help an employee with personal problems. Courage. It can be hard to speak up at work, whether you want to voice a new idea, provide feedback to a direct report, or flag a concern to someone above you. That's part of the reason courage is a key skill for good leaders. Rather than avoiding problems or allowing conflicts to fester, courage enables leaders to step up and move things in the right direction. Respect. Treating people with respect on a daily basis is one of the most important things a leader can do. It will ease tensions and conflict, create trust, and improve effectiveness. Respect is more than the absence of disrespect, and it can be shown in many different ways, such as respect is about listening, and respect isn't the absence of disrespect. Respect is shown in many ways and how you are perceived by those around you. Now, putting it all together, the characteristics of a good leader. While successful leaders may exhibit these 10 leadership skills to varying degrees, all good leaders leverage at least some or most of these characteristics. Together, they make up the backbone of leadership across leader levels, industries, and continents. Without these skills, true leadership is impossible. I'll answer all of your questions that you forward to me.
Yeah, I have a few questions for you, and this is really great. I have heard a lot of audiobook sessions from John Maxwell and each and every experts in this entire globe. And this particular presentation, to be specific, when I close my ears, I really visualize all kind of contents what you said. This really shows your experience, and I'm really happy to have you on board for this great Asian Online Summit. And it's a true honor. And I have few questions for you. It's a kind of personal question. I just want you to answer how you have a lot of experience, the way you present, the way you take pause, and the books you read. I really understand from your end after listening to your audio. I do really hear a lot of audio books and a lot of leadership kind of audio books and contents as well. Is this necessary? What you said was really right. You said about 80% of listening and 20% of speaking. Today I really did that in your session. My rate of speech is like 250 per minute, but I really started listening. When I start listening, as you say, I'm just getting a lot of ideas and contents flowing in my mind. What you said was really right. And the 20%, when I speak, people say it's like 80% of your rate of speech, and you got a lot of things done. And I just want you to slow down, and how to control a rate of speech. Whether it will come in experience kind of things, or when we age or something like that, or is there anything or any practices? Is there any specific kind of leadership content to be screwed up inside me to work on that? Because when I speak, people used to say, even US accent people and UK accent people say, "Anand, just please wait, listen, and speak a little bit for me to understand." So that's what they say from their end. Whenever you speak, it's like a kind of a motherly approach. When I close my eyes and I really understand each and every contents and each and every word you say. I just want, this is totally a personal question from me, and I just want you to answer, and then I leave it to the audience column. That will be great.
Well, the way that I would control the speed at which you speak is that during conversations, I would seek confirmation of understanding of what you've said. So you actually instead of it being a monologue, being you speaking just at the person, you turn it into a dialogue where they are confirming back to you their understanding of what you've just said. And that will force you to make sure that you're communicating in a manner and at a speed that lands on the audience that you're speaking with.
And one more thing, as you said, and as I follow, a lot of experts, as I follow you and as I follow everyone, I read a lot. I have a lot of data in my mind, but I don't have a time frame to execute all that. Maybe this is the kind of thing I need to work on that. I want some personal suggestions from you.
Well, lots of data in your mind is not a bad thing. It depends. What you need to then do is to align where you're going to. So strategically, which is another area that I work with, you need to determine where you're going to and then include relevant information, the receipt and research on relevant information that will get you to the destination you're going to, rather than shotgunning the entire knowledge base and learning everything you possibly can in case one day you might use it. Because if you're specific about your learning, you'll learn it much better because you'll be applying it. Some of what I spoke about was that you need to bring knowledge, the learning agility. You take that knowledge in, and that knowledge sticks when you apply it to a particular purpose. So gain knowledge on where you're going and keep working on the strategic objectives you have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And I just want the participants to ask questions. You can either it will be on text. That will be great for our guest to understand and reply, or you can come in voice. Is there anyone? Please text me here in chat box. Yes, so that I'll ask the host to unmute. That will be great. Let me see the chat box here so that I can identify the person who can come and speak. I just want the participants to type yes, so that you'll be unmuted and you can have a discussion with our guest. That will be great. Is there anyone like? Am I audible to the audience? Dr. Thiru, are you online, doctor? Yeah, I just want Dr. S. Femina. Yes, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I just want Dr. Femina's end to be unmuted for her. I think she's a regular follow-up person. I want Dr. Arulmani. Is it possible for Dr. Femina to unmute from our side?
Yes.
So that will be great.
Yes.
Yeah, she is free to talk with the guest. Yeah, she can. Dr. Femina, are you there? Okay, fine. I think she is not. And is there any other participants like questions? In India, we don't find leaders have empathy and sympathy. I just want, Mr. Stephen, sir, I just want a question. This is a kind of similar question, running in my mind as well. I'm really thankful for this question, Nallamuthu. In India, we don't find leaders having empathy and sympathy. This scenario for the youngsters. Right. I just want you to share your thoughts about that.
Empathy. Well, leadership is not. Leadership has two aspects. One, people believe it is positional. I am the boss because I am in charge. I am the CEO. And I don't believe that is what true leadership is. I believe true leadership is a way of behaving, which is about leading a team to achieve a particular goal. And in any one moment, the leader could be the person who is not the positional leader, but the subject matter expert may be the leader of the conversation and should be respected as such. So empathy and sympathy are ways to grow that style of leadership. It's not, if you've got command and control and it's the
give me a minute. I think you got unmuted. Please wait. I think there is a bit of glitch. Please wait. Please wait. I want host to. Yeah. I think it's muted again. I just want the host. Yeah.
Right. You're right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Yes. So if you've got command and control, it isn't true leadership. It's positional leadership, and the people who you are leading will not respect you as a leader. So I believe greater respect is gained by empathy, sympathy, and true connection on people-to-people level.
Okay, yeah. I just want the host to unmute all the external noises. It will be easy for. Okay, thank you. Am I audible now?
Right on.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah, that's really great. I just want, I'll just share Mr. Stephen's Gabriel's LinkedIn profile so that you can go and visit him. And he got a lot of things to do. And on a quicker note, it's like for everyone, we as an unit, Inspiring Millions, we work with a lot of WhatsApp groups, and it's a kind of a long-term mission and vision inside our team. We are working on it. This the thing called the Great Asian Online Summit. So each and every day we'll get experts from various countries and high profile persons from various countries, and the top rated CEOs and managing directors will be coming in and addressing. I just want all the participants to stay in their WhatsApp group they are joined in. Each and every group is a specifically designed group for experts and all kind of things. We'll be posting all the contents in the WhatsApp group. I'll be sharing Mr. Stephen's profile there. I'll be sharing Dr. Sumit's profile there, and each and every guest profile will be shared in the WhatsApp group. This is not a one day session. We are planning it for a long term, and I just want all the participants to share their contact details and their college details in the chat here, so that I'll just copy that and I'll send a recorded data to our guest, Mr. Stephen, so for him to work on his end. So that will be great, so he can have some one-on-one sessions later, and he can have some good business proposals regarding this venture, and it's a kind of a global module which we are working into. And I see Mr. Adarsh Mittal. Hi, Mr. Adarsh. I hope you are hearing, and I just want you to speak up about. Yeah, can you hear me? Right? Yeah, fine. That's great.
Right on.
I just want Adarsh. He's a kind of an. Yeah. Adarsh, I just want you to
Yeah,
speak up.
yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Hanand. How do you do?
Yeah, I'm really doing great, and it's really great to have you here.
It's
Finally.
been a long time. It's been actually a long time since I enjoyed this session so much.
Yeah, because we are doing it in like a step-by-step process, and it's a kind of a great initiative which we are into. I really thank Annai College of Groups and principal from their end, because it's a great initiative. It's hard for me to work, so we just joined up and teamed up with various colleges, and this particular initiative has been taken by Annai group of colleges, and I really thank Dr. Thirumalan for this particular initiative. He is working
Yes.
tirelessly. It's hard for us. For example, our guest is from Australia. We got a lot of guests from various country time zones. We work with 15 to 25 plus countries, and we are bringing in them for some little bit of not little bit of larger bit of knowledge and sharing sessions. So we take this particular thing forwarded. So I just want all the attendees to be in that particular WhatsApp group. I'll just send the feedback links and the profile of each and every person and speakers, and it's a long-term thing. And I just want you to drop the text here in the chat box about the feedbacks and all kind of things, and that'll be taken to our guest column. So we'll be coming in live on our WhatsApp group to say about our next sessions and next initiatives. So I just want a quick question from Adarsh Mittal to our chief guest, about his content and his aspects.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I was raring to go with a question. So, good afternoon, Mr. Stephen. This is Adarsh Mittal, and I belong to Annai Group of Institutions. I work as a faculty there. I just had a question, a very basic question regarding leadership. Uh, there is often a misunderstanding as to whether a leader is born or a leader is made. So, which one is, according to your opinion, true?
My opinion is what some leaders are born, but leaders can most definitely be made. And if you wish to be a leader, I can help you on that journey if you're not already one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I see personally, I see a lot of leadership skills with Mr. Adarsh because I have a working experience with him personally. He is a kind of a coordinator. He is a kind of a multi-talented guy who's working in that particular organization. I'm really thankful, and we are doing a lot of initiatives with various colleges, and I'm really happy that Mr. Adarsh, one of the great youngster and a talented guy, is coming here and dropping in questions. That's a kind of a critical question, and that was well answered by our guest. It's really mind blowing, and I just want few more questions and interactions from audience point of view for for an easy kind of a thing, so that we can have some quick discussions that grow relationships as well, that grow our mutual businesses as well. I just want audience to speak up, or else just chat is enough. I can see the chat, and on behalf of you, I'll ask questions. So whereas I can learn a lot from that as well. Yeah, I just want Dr. Rosie Fernandez. Dr. Thiru, I just want to unmute Dr. Rosie Fernandez. And so she's having some questions for the guest, it seems. Dr. Thiru, am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. I just want Mrs. Rosie, Dr. Rosie, to unmute her end, or else it is possible.
I try to unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am, loud and clear.
Yeah. I'm Dr. Rosie Fernando, speaking from Shasun Jain College, the CEO of the Center of Excellence, and as well managing the Entrepreneurship Development Cell. So I would just like to understand, how do you think that this leadership perspectives can be imbibed into the curriculum so that entrepreneurs emerge from each of their disciplines?
I didn't hear all of the question. Was it to do with how is it included in curriculum? Was that?
How should it be? How should it be? Imbibed into the curriculum or intertwined into the curriculum?
Well, I believe it should be intertwined into the curriculum. How exactly? It can be a topic in social topic of some sort, because leadership, I believe, is vitally important to the future. I think the world is going to come out of this current coronavirus pandemic requiring leadership at all levels. And yes, your students aren't necessarily going to be ready to take a role in that immediate requirement, but they need to be prepared for the future. And I would suggest a curriculum that I would be happy to discuss with you offline as to how that was included in your framework. I don't know without seeing your entire curriculum, but I think it's a very important part of having young people step up early and be making a sound contribution for the betterment of mankind.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ma'am. Actually, I just got your question. I totally understand, because I used to work with a lot of various countries, foreign affairs. Since we, as an Indian, have a different set of patterns here in education as well as an entrepreneurial approach, whereas it is different in Australia, and it is different in Middle East aspects as well. And I really, I take this question as forwarded thing, and I'll work with that, and I'll personally approach you as well regarding this question and answers kind of thing. And it's a true honor for us, like doctors from your end. Is it possible for me to see you? That'll be great.
No. I just suddenly got into the program, so not now, maybe the next time. But I would appreciate if you could share your contact details and others, so that I will be in touch with you, because I am into this space for quite a long number of years, and having created quite a large number of entrepreneurs as well.
Sure, ma'am. Actually, I just want to make a note. Are you in which WhatsApp group? Like, you are into Inspiring Millions? There is a list.
No. I just got it. I randomly saw, and I just thought I should have this contact. I'm not in any of the groups as well.
Okay, fine. Actually,
I just randomly got to see this. Yeah.
Actually, I'll just send you all the details. It's a kind of a yearly long program. We invite leaders, we invite CEOs, and we invite managing directors, and we invite panel members to work with various colleges for EDC, entrepreneurship and leadership as well. So that's why we.
Can I take your contact number? Can I take your contact number?
Sure, ma'am. Sure. I'll just.
Can I take your contact number?
Sure, ma'am. I'll just say it is possible.
Can you tell it?
Yeah, 701
Can you tell
000.
your number? Yeah, sure.
I'll just text it right now. That will be easy for you to.
701
You can see the chat box here. That will be easy
What's
for.
your, and your name as well?
My name
And
is
your name
Anand.
as well?
My
Yeah.
name is Anand.
You can pronounce the number.
Yeah, 701 000 7889.
7889. Thank you, Anand.
Yeah, I just want you to WhatsApp me. I'll just join in that particular group.
This is your WhatsApp number too, right? I'll be in connect with. Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, Mr. Stephen. Actually, similarly, we got a lot of enthusiastic business peoples and EDC cell coordinators as well. So, whereas we, being a catalyst, we are going to work with various aspects. So, I'll just send you the exact proposals and the policies of which the areas which we are going to work. I take this particular platform to pitch in these kind of business ideas and how we work with the various managements. Since we have some good understanding about how the panel works and how international affairs about the policies of education works, and I just really want you to know that we have good connections with Indian set of colleges and organizations as well. So I'll just keep you posted about our next work, so where we work and what are all the the boundaries which we are into. So it will be easy for you to understand the entire plan as well. And I just share your profile so you can have a quick Q&A session in your LinkedIn page or in WhatsApp page or in the WhatsApp group as well. After this particular session, I'll just add you in the Prime panel members WhatsApp group. I have just dropped my WhatsApp number. Since you know my personal number as well, I'll just add you in that particular panel members WhatsApp group. So there will be some discussion, so you can have some data about and information about what we work and what are all the things. For example, we have a lot of requirements. This particular set of Annai college group, we are into incubation as well, and we have a good connections with mass group of colleges and various colleges. So we, being catalyst, use this particular platform to pitch in, and to grow. So that's why we invite a lot of people from various countries and high profile people from various countries, CEOs from different companies. I hope you know the main page I have sent you. You have quite done a research about our program, about the Great Asian Online Summit, which we do. I want to make a quick note about that, and so that I can share information to you and to the all members throughout, all the members here in webinar as well. You have any questions about that, so I can elaborately explain myself?
No, I'll connect and do whatever, answer whatever questions and make myself known to everybody.
Sure, that will be great. And I'll be just sharing your LinkedIn profile so that everybody will come in and follow you and to understand and to talk business personally to you, and that will be really great. And I also take a quick screenshot of this
You've gone frozen.
It's coming down in this session.
Anand, your voice.
I'll just put it Word doc. Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just repeat it. I hope you know about our Asian Summit and all kind of long-term activity. We have list of groups. We have around 100 plus groups, WhatsApp group. Each and every group is filled with full of professors and college contacts. So we used to do programs regularly to work with multi-dimensional projects. We work with EDC cell, we work with placement cells, and we work with leadership, we work with motivational kind of sessions. So it's a kind of a huge proposal. I'll just share all the details to you. So whereas it will be easy for you to understand and work with our Indian set of college aspects as well. And for a quicker note, ma'am's question has been highly evaluated because in Indian point of aspects, she just framed that particular question. So we have different policies and different boundary limits with each and every countries. I used to work with a lot of different country persons and different country universities as well. So each and every university and each and every country has their own set of policies. So that's what ma'am has asked. I'll just make a note of that particular thing, and I'll just send you so that you can reply that particular question as well. And is there any thing from audience side to share? You can drop down the text so that our chief guest will be addressing that particular content specifically. Yeah, okay. I just want Selvamani. Yeah, I just want Mr. Selvamani to unmute his thing. He have a question for our guest. Make it faster So because we are running out of time, our guest got a lot of works pending. So I just want you to make a quick note of the question. Last 5 minutes, please. Am I audible? Am I audible to all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I try to unmute. She also.
I just want Mr. Selvamani to speak up, please, because he has some question for the guest, it seems. Can't hear. Okay, fine. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I have a question from Mr. Selvamani. I'll just read that for our guest to understand. Yeah, he have a question about gratitude with others and about a natural thing. That is a question from a college person. I just want to speak about that.
Speak about gratitude.
Wait, please.
Well, if it's just to speak about gratitude is being thankful and expressing your thanks for the work that people working for you have done, and that helps you cement your leadership credentials because of their respect for you. It's also about showing you you're caring for you care about the work that they do, and you're thankful for what they have done to help the company and yourself. I think gratitude is a very important part of cementing the respect that you hope to gain as a leader.
Thank you, and all right. Is there any questions from audience point of aspect? So I just want you to speak up with your microphone unmuted, so that will be easy for our guests understanding, and that will be really great.
Anand, Arun Kumar is put in chat box.
Yeah, okay, fine. Unmute him. That will be great.
Sir.
Hello, this is Arun from Annai College, Kumbakonam.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Fine, Anand. How about you?
Yeah, doing great, sir. You remember me?
Fine. I'm speaking to Dirumbalan about you for the past 1 week. We are having a detailed conversation about all your activities as such.
Thank you, sir. It's been a real pleasure. And I used to talk about you. I know it's hard for us to get some feedbacks from you. And you are the hard man to reach, and a hard man to get a lot of it. Yeah, you are up to. Yeah, you are online, sir.
Sorry. Hello, Mr. Stephen. This is Arun. I'm audible to you? Fine. Being a leader is not an easy task, actually. What do you think that the role of dynamic aspects that is revolving around in the world right now would have the impact in sustaining the leadership capability in profession as well as personal? I'm asking in both the point of view.
My point of view regarding leadership internationally currently is that it's almost non-existent. What we have is people speaking at the people they're talking to, which is not a sign of leadership. That's just them standing up and telling people what they want them to do. I don't believe that is leadership at all. And I think that if we are going to educate our young to take charge of a partially broken world that we currently have today, then we need to be teaching leadership where all of you people are teaching our young people of today, so they can step up and show the world what true leadership actually looks like.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Stephen.
And thank you. It's been an honor, sir. Actually, he's head of the department. He is I have been worked with him as well. I have met him 2-3 times. I'm really thankful that Mr. Arun sir and he just came. That's really, I'm really great. Hope.
Thank you, Anand. Expecting such kind of webinars for the faculties as well as students is much more beneficiary for their professional career. I think so, actually.
Sure, sir. Today morning we are discussing about the content which we have said about how we improvise these kind of webinars, and I've taken note, and I personally said Mr. Thiru, Dr. Thiru, to convey these kind of regards, and I take this as an immense pleasure. And I just want, is it possible, Moganambal Ramasamy, because she is in a long drive, I think so, if I'm not wrong, she is in his car listening to our each and every, I mean, from the beginning she is there. I think she is listening. It is possible for her to speak up about the session and what all the. Is it possible for her? Yeah, ma'am. Okay, thank you, Dr. Balachandar. Thank you, Dr. Annai Thomas. And is there anyone? Thank you, Dr. V. Sandhya. Thank you, Dr. Almani. Thank you, Dr. Kanmani. Thank you, Simba, Veena Simhana. Thank you. And I'll just take this entire notes as a feedback session, and I'll just forward to our guest. And I just want all the participants to stay in the WhatsApp group for their certification kind of things for the next level of programs, and we'll send all the updates in the WhatsApp group. And over to Mr. Stephen for the final note. And I just want principal to give a word of thanks if she is online and audible. Over to you, Mr. Stephen. Any final kind of?
Others Mittal will give a word of thanks.
Okay, fine. Last 2 minutes about our guests kind of discussion, and then we can go. Like I have a lot to speak with Mr. Stephen as well.
Well, thank you for taking your time to listen to me. It's been a pleasure to speak with you, and I hope to speak with many of you again. And I'm happy to communicate with you whatever method you see appropriate. You can get me on LinkedIn or WhatsApp or whatever other method you can find me upon. And I wish you all luck in your next endeavor, and I hope you can provide great leadership to your students in the future. Thanks again.
Thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure. I'll just keep you posted in LinkedIn and WhatsApp. So we work with WhatsApp because we have different countries and different time zones. The WhatsApp works around the clock. And I'll just add you in the chief guest WhatsApp group. That will be great so that you can have some discussions with all the guests. And that will be great from everyone's point of view. And I'll also share each and every details and data. So you can WhatsApp me anytime. I'll just keep on disturbing you regarding this, because whenever I see a lot of effective people, I won't leave them, and I'll take a note to my close heart as well. And thank you, it's been a pleasure. And I just want Mr. Adarsh Mittal to give a word of thanks for our both guests, about Dr. Sumit Aggarwal's as well as Mr. Stevens as well, both. Over to you, Mr. Adarsh.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Anand. So I actually personally enjoyed this session a lot. It has been quite some time that I went through such quality speakers. And without even realizing it, is almost 2 hours now that we have been attending this session. So on behalf of the institution, I'd like to thank the chairman, the secretary, sir, executive director of the Department of MBA, the principal from Annai College of Arts and Science, Dr. Manikya Vasigi madam, head of the department, of course, Mr. Arun Kumar sir, Dr. Tilumuran sir, for taking such, going to such lengths and taking some steps to bring quality content to beneficiaries like us. And of course to you, Mr. Anand, that you have been an active pursuing person who is trying to give updated quality content to all the stakeholders involved here. And being a bridge between all the stakeholders is the biggest thing that world needs today, especially in these testing times. So I thank on behalf of the institution to you, Mr. Anand. Other than that, my sincere wishes to the participants who have been patient enough for the last 2 hours and been with us in this journey and posted their valuable questions for the for everyone to benefit. I hope everyone has received the feedback link. I request everyone to actually spare a few minutes of your time to post your feedback so that it can be taken in a constructive way to better our future efforts. So yeah, thank you, Dr. Tirumulan and Anand. So over to you, Mr. Anand.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I really thank our chief guest, Mr. Stephen, and I really thank our chief guest, Mr. Dr. Aggarwal as well. And a lot of things to come. And I just want all you people to stay in that particular WhatsApp group. And I just the link has been shared in the WhatsApp, and I'll keep on sending the contents, good contents, and we'll work for the quality. And wherever we go, I'll just keep you posted in WhatsApp. And I really thank Stephen's effort for reaching us, and it's really great. And it's a kind of a, sorry for the disturbance, and I'm just getting calls about the feedbacks, and sorry. And it's really great. Thank you, Mr. Stephen, and I'll just keep in touch with you in WhatsApp for our next projects and all kind of things. We really need your assistance supports, in regular. Thank you, sir. Thank you, and Nandri Vanakkam. Thank you.
Thank you. Anand.
Bye-bye. I think எல்லாரும் கெஸ்ட் எல்லாரும் சென்டர் அடைஞ்சிட்டாங்களா அவங்களோட இதுல இருந்து? பரவாயில்ல, எல்லாருமே ரொம்ப ஆக்டிவ். ஆனா really great. நல்ல இனிஷியேட்டிவ். I really thank you personally and everyone. That was a great submission. Actually அருண் சார் வந்தது நான் ரொம்ப ஹாப்பி. அவர் பாருங்க, போன வாட்டி டிரைவிங்ல ஹெட்செட் போட்டு கேட்டிருக்காரு. இருக்காரா அவரு?
ரெகுலரா வந்து
நான் மொபைல் இருக்கறனால எனக்கு சரியா தெரியல. இருக்காரா? அதே மாதிரி I really want to thank Mrs. Mohanambal Ramasamy, really, because she was online. அவங்க வந்து டிரைவிங்ல I don't know where she is from, and ரொம்ப இன்ட்ரெஸ்டடா இருந்தாங்க. நான் நிறைய ரெகுலர் அட்டெண்டீஸ் இருக்காங்க. So we really registered a great thing, an achievement kind of a stuff. Like Annai college ல ஒரு போஸ்ட் போச்சுன்னா it's an international standardல இருக்கும்ன்றது இப்போ everybody understands, and lot of college persons from beyond competition, lot of people are approaching. That's really great. அதாவது வந்து இந்த டைம்ல வந்து I'm really thankful for all the text which we got here on behalf. Like still we got 80 participants. I really thank all the persons who have effectively conveyed their regards. Thank you Arathi, thank you Rega ma'am, thank you Meenakshi, thank you Kalpana Lakshmi, thank you, and thank you 724705, and I think thank you Mohammed Irfan, and he is regular to us and really great. Thank you. Thank you Dr. V. Saktya. A lot of professors from various colleges are actively participating, and I just want to make a quick note about our Sumit Aggarwal's presentation. He have touched a great thing. Right now we are in a forced situation. I'm not talking about our college, I'm talking about the general colleges. We are in a forced situation to go online. So better we capitalize this market and we do a lot of quality contents. Definitely people will stay and they'll get a lot of ideas, and they'll share with us as well. We grow mutually, and I really welcome you all peoples on behalf of the Great Asian Online Summit, Inspiring Millions, and Annai College of Groups. We are going to work for the next level of contents, and I'll just keep you posted in WhatsApp. Thank you, and Nandri Vanakkam, Namaste, bye-bye. Thank you Arathi ma'am, thank you all. Thank you sir, thank you, it's been a great Vadi Varagi, thank you ma'am, thank you Vadi Varagi, and Ganalakshmi, Gajalakshmi, and Rega ma'am, thank you Mrs. Arti, thank you Miss, I don't know Miss or Mrs. Please do apologize me, I take it as Mrs. because I see a lot of doctors, really great, and scholars. Thank you Miss or Mrs. Geeta, thank you Miss or Mrs. Sellomani, thank you Merlin Vinoda, and thank you Somasundaram, thank you Sandhya, thank you all. You can sign off by sending your wishes in the chat box, and you can call it a day. Thank you, bye-bye, thank you all. Thank you Arun sir, thank you as well, thank you Bharati, and I'm really thankful for Sri Andal Soft Media and his unit as well, and really thank and Sri Ramlu as well. It's a great initiative from his end. Thank you. Sri, are you online? I hope definitely you are online. I just want you to unmute. I think Dr. Thiru is getting some mobile calls. Group will be conducting regular sessions. Thank you.
Yes, Anand. Anand, the voice is not audible.
Okay, it's a kind of a.
It shows your bandwidth is slow.
Okay. I do understand. Bye all. it's a kind of a saying goodbye to all. Like I'm sending you all offline. Bye bye. Like that. There is a bit of a, I
We will
thank
connect
all.
with our mobile.
I really thank all the college participants. I really thank Moganambal ma'am, and I really thank LS5505, Magil Madi, Veeramani, Merlin Vinoda, Sharon Thomas from St. Joseph College, Dr. Bhuneshwari, Dr. Arulmani, Shanmugapriya ma'am, and Arati ma'am, Bhuneshwari, Dr. Gabriel, Robert, Sriramlu, Sandhya, Geeta ma'am, and whatever as well. I really thank you all. And please stay in the WhatsApp group for your feedbacks and for the next session. Thank you all. Yeah, Abarna ma'am, we'll be sending in the WhatsApp group. So you fill that.
Anand already sent in WhatsApp group.
Okay, WhatsApp group. Fine. That will be great. That is great. And thank you for your work. And I'm just getting calls from in. And I just want to make a note that we got a ma'am in our session. How she just came in. She is not in the WhatsApp group, and she is not in a thing. How she suddenly popped up, that I was stunned to see that. But she was, to the core. That question shows that she is having lots of experience about EDC as well. I just want to repeat this conversation to understand where she is from. I have just given my number as well, but I don't know. I just want to about her.
Definitely, she will contact you.
Sure. What is her name?
Rosie Fernando.
Rosie Fernando. Fine. And she's a doctor as well.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. We'll call it a day. It's 2 p.m. Bye-bye. And good morning, good afternoon, good night. We'll see you soon for the next thing.
Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Satya. Bye-bye.
Thank you.